Not this one.
This one.
This one.
Exit the roundabout onto B327.
Hey everyone, thanks for watching. This morning, we're leaving Trier near the Luxembourg border and driving to Frankfurt to return what was a very dependable Fiat 500. The trip took just a few hours, and we drove about 200 kilometers to the rental car drop-off, which was conveniently located near the Frankfurt train station.
Mine straight ahead.
I will say, after several days driving in Luxembourg and around Trier, traffic was a bit busy in Frankfurt, so just keep that in mind if you aren't often driving a manual in an urban area. Directions to the drop-off took us right across from the train station. We parked the car, handed in the keys, and then headed over to find the tram. I was excited to get to Frankfurt because other than its airport, I've never been here. Here's a quick shot of the food court in the train station. We wanted to relax and buy some water after our road trip.
I guess we could almost eat anywhere.
And here's our tram 11, although in this shot it's going in the opposite direction than what we wanted. We made it to our hotel with no trouble by taking the tram straight east.
Hotel Moxy. The website made it look pretty cool.
Checking in was simple and the room was exactly as expected. We've stayed at Moxy hotels in other cities, and you certainly get a fun, clean environment for what I consider to be a reasonable price for a boutique-style hotel. Someone left their handprint, coloring outside the lines. Big television. And view to the street. Bathroom. Everything's nice and clean. Oh, and a nice bathroom. You decide. After relaxing for a bit, it was time for dinner and a bit of exploring. We walked back to the city center and looked for a place to eat. We decided on the Wirtshaus im Ostend.
As long as we don't have to sit outside, because it's a little chilly. It's pretty inviting in there.
In we go. This was a great restaurant with a cozy, inviting atmosphere for a chilly evening.
Yeah, here it is. Boom pass.
They gave us tasty food and they had an assortment of fresh German beer. On tap, which is my preferred way to have it.
Edelweiss beer. I think I'll try an Edelweiss beer.
We settled on an Edelweiss beer and a Helles. Take a look.
Wow. I've never heard of Buble beer.
For food, no big surprise here if you've seen some of my other videos, but I went with pizza. It came with sour cream, lettuce, tomatoes, and cheese from a sheep. On top of that, we had to try the schnitzel.
That is a lot of schnitzel.
Well, it was really a salad, but it came with schnitzel. The portions were good sized, and by good size I mean they were quite generous and filling. We didn't know they would be this large, so we could have split something, but as you can guess, we ate everything. We were tired from our drive, but the main reason we walked back into this part of town was because of the incredible Christmas market that was packed with happy people. We'll be in Frankfurt for several nights, so we just dropped in for a quick look and a winter drink now, with plans to explore it more in the coming days. When I'm in Germany during the holiday season, I go to a Christmas market every night. The season goes so quickly, best not to skip a day. And Frankfurt certainly knows how to throw a holiday party.
Bier und Fisch.
I assume that's
Blue wine. That's right to the top. Quarter liter. Quarter liter. Wirtshaus. Check the menu.
So each day we just wandered the city and made sure to see all the sites we wanted to visit. On this particular day, we were up early and wanted to start off by taking in the city with a long walk and no particular destination in mind. As I've mentioned, this is my first time visiting Frankfurt, and I'd been told by so many people that this city isn't really what you think of when you think of Germany. Quite a bit of it was rebuilt after the Second World War, and Frankfurt opted to build part of the center with new modern skyscrapers, which led to the nickname of Mainhattan, because Frankfurt sits on the Main River, and the new skyline was New York in style. So here we are next to the urban skyscraper area of town. Frankfurt has more high-rises than any other German city. It's home to the European Central Bank and the Frankfurt Stock Exchange. With all the financing and banking in Frankfurt, it definitely is an international city, and you'll hear and talk to people from all over, but it's a German city in my book and well worth visiting. And if that isn't enough, here are two more great reasons to fly here. One, Frankfurt is a great location to visit other areas. Either by train, car, or plane connection, you can get to places like Cologne, Bonn, and Luxembourg rather easily. Even Zurich is only about 400 kilometers away, Munich, also around 400 kilometers, and Amsterdam, around 440 kilometers. The second reason, there are so many airlines with direct flights from North America to Frankfurt that getting here is easy. I have to say, the city felt German. Römerplatz and the Old Town area were rebuilt in the old German style. Honestly, the medieval German style.
It's all brand new.
So, okay, the buildings may be new, but the architecture is what Frankfurt looked like in earlier centuries.
This feels German.
If you come here, I believe you'll feel like you're in Germany. Around 80% of the medieval area of the city was destroyed during the Second World War. However, it's been rebuilt and it's a must-see when you go to Europe. The Christmas market is in Römerplatz, which is the city's old central square. So the center point of the old town is the Kaiserdom, a cathedral dedicated to St. Bartholomew. It was built in the 14th century and was finished to basically the size we see today in the mid-16th century. It was then rebuilt twice, once after a fire in the late 19th century and then again after the Second World War. There was reconstruction in the 1990s as well, and the red coloring you see is a result of that work. The cathedral's beautiful organ also received restoration during this time. These windows are from the 1950s. We decided not to walk up the spire, although visitors are allowed to climb the 328 steps for what will be a very nice view of the city skyline, the river, the old town, and the greater Frankfurt area. After visiting the Kaiserdom, we hung out in the area and did a bit of Christmas shopping.
Right here.
We stopped in Handwerkskunst, and I recommend you do the same when you visit the city. They have beautiful handmade items from Germany, and there seemed to be something for everybody's budget. Take a look at my other video that shows you more of the store and what we ended up buying. It was then time for lunch, and serendipity found me. As we were heading back to our hotel, I spotted L'Osteria. It's a chain that serves Italian food. I first had it in Salzburg a few years ago and really liked the food, the service, and the atmosphere.
Erdinger Urweisse Draft. Margarita pizza.
We stopped in, I ordered my second pizza in Frankfurt, and like the one I showed you from a few days ago, it was too much food, but this time I was smart and took most of it home with me.
That is one large margarita pizza.
I put this segment into the video as I was so happy to run into this restaurant again. You know when you find a restaurant, really like it, don't expect to see it again, and then you do in another city? Well, that's what it was like for me. I didn't realize that it was such a large chain, but luckily it is, and they set up shop close to where I was staying in Frankfurt. L'Osteria are located throughout Europe, with many of them in Germany, but you'll find this restaurant in other countries, including England. Check out their website to see where they are. I was also able to get a couple of matchboxes for my collection back home. We then headed back to the hotel to relax and watch some ski jumping. So as you can tell, I'm a fan of Frankfurt. We stayed a decent amount of time. I could have stayed longer, but I know there's quite a bit to see in Germany, so let me point out a few other stops we really enjoyed in this city. There's a really good sculpture museum here that I didn't want to miss. It's south of the Main River and has antiquities from Egyptian and Roman times, the Middle Ages, all the way up through the Renaissance to present day. They even have a sculpture by Jeff Koons. I won't show it as I'll leave it for you to see and enjoy when you visit, but let me just say that we found the wing of the museum where it's housed by following a song by Bon Jovi. And since you're in this part of town, be sure to stop in and eat at Atschel. It was somewhat crowded when we got there, and we had no reservation. However, the friendly staff found us a table in the back. This was toward the end of our trip, so it was more German food and beer for lunch.
Mariner Killer beer on tap.
Since we were leaving the country in a few days, I wanted to head home having had too much German food, as opposed to not enough. You can cross over the Main River and see the skyline up ahead via the Iron Footbridge. This is a popular passageway for people to quickly get across. It was renovated in the early 1990s. Another place I wanted to mention so you can see it on your trip is Goethe's House. The German poet and writer was born in Frankfurt in 1749, and you can tour the house where he was born. One of this country's treasured writers, most people will know him as the author of Faust, which some consider the greatest work of German literature. Be sure to take a tour when you're in town. The house also has an adjoining German Romantic Museum that offers visitors interactive displays and works from the Romantic period.
It is the phone. I'm going to sit in the phone chair for a moment.
So we're back in the hotel and taking it easy for the evening. we decided to head down to the lobby/club, buy a couple of drinks, and just relax to the music.
I'm Max and Foosball. And if you want to get your hair cut,
there were stuffed polar teddy bears hanging out with us, so how could we say no? That bear has had a lot to drink. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe as I'll be adding additional videos from my stay in Germany soon.